We've been on a long journey, guys. We had a choice between two roads. One was the easy road, the road that everybody else chooses, the road of quick fixes, short timelines, half solutions, and immediate gratification. That road does deliver you to a destination, but it's a flawed destination. It's not exactly where you want to be, but it's a close enough approximation to be bearable. The other road was the darker road of longer timelines, difficult fixes, no immediate gratification, hardship, pleasure delaying, and discipline. Probably more of a dark tunnel than a surface road, but it delivers you to the real destination you were seeking. We chose that darker, harder tunnel, and we paid a certain price for it. But this week, our time has come, and we're in the last mile. Ready? Let's go. Today, we're going to discuss the triggering of the Vasil hard fork combinator event, some more nice comparisons from just the metrics, Fidelity with some curiously named new ETFs, some interesting charts on holder concentration, some new metaverse heat maps, and Maladex hinting at something coming. If this dark tunnel is concerning to you because you know this is where you'd get the flat tire and there would be no shoulder to escape the traffic behind you, or if you're finding value in these videos each weekday, please consider delegating to the Army of Spies stake pool, ticker AOS. Also, I'm still in the process of narrowing down sponsors, so if you're interested in sponsoring these videos, please hit me up on Twitter at Army Spies. No of, just at Army Spies. Here it is, guys. I am very pleased to inform you that today we saw the news that we've all been waiting for so long. Vasil update this weekend, a joint Cardano Foundation and Input Output Global team successfully submitted an update proposal to the chain, setting the Vasil upgrade in motion for the 22nd of September. Thanks to all the technical community for their support over the past months in getting us to here. The new capabilities, including Node and CLI support for reference inputs, inline datums, reference scripts, and collateral outputs, along with a new Plutus cost model, will become available for developers to utilize on mainnet exactly 1 epoch later on September 27th. So we have finally made it. The proposal for the Vasil hard fork combinator event has been submitted, and we will be in the post-Vasil Babbage era of Cardano soon. We've talked about many times what this means for certain more advanced Plutus tools to be in the hands of developers. And in fact, they've been developing based on those new tools and testing for a while now, for quite a while. And it looks like we are going to be seeing some new projects we've been talking about for years at this point, finally launching soon. Some of the projects, of course, will take months and months and months, and we'll still have some waiting to do for certain projects for sure. But it looks like we're going to be seeing some new projects very, very soon, and they're ones that we've been anxiously waiting for a long time now. Even given all the delays that pushed the Vasil upgrade back until this week, I think it's possible the timing couldn't possibly be better because the entire crypto world just had to go through Ethereum's merge, the merge of the second biggest blockchain in the world. All of that excitement, anxiousness, and drama is now over. And probably about now, a lot of people in the Ethereum community are looking around at each other like a bunch of teenagers who bought and took fake drugs. Do you feel anything? Because I don't feel anything. It should be kicking in by now. Where are the talking butterflies? Shouldn't something have been happening? Proof of stake was supposed to be awesome, but it feels exactly the same. It's like exactly the same, except different people are getting the transaction fees. This was supposed to be awesome. Now, finally, Cardano and Ethereum will be able to compete on a level playing field, and I'm afraid there are just too many metrics where it's going to be very difficult for Ethereum to stack up against Cardano, including liquid staking, self-custodied staking, transaction cost, decentralization of validators, decentralization of holders, and robberies per holder, to name just a few. To illustrate a few of these metrics, we can go to today's release of the aptly named Just the Metrics, where they compare a few important metrics of post-merge Ethereum and Cardano. So first, they hit things like this: slashing in Ethereum, no slashing in Cardano. Pretty black and white comparison. Do you want to participate in a system where your holdings could get slashed? Ethereum validators risk taking penalties with up to 100% of staked funds at risk if validators fail. Do you like that situation, or do you like the much more secure no slashing situation in Cardano? Then they talk about the lockup period when you're participating in staking, with what they're calling an infinite locking period in Ethereum versus liquid staking in Cardano, where there is no lockup. As of now, the unlock period for your staked ETH is infinite, and they give you a screenshot to show you exactly what they mean. They say, this is someone on the Ethereum side saying, I strongly disagree with this. Every single piece of documentation and publication we put out made it incredibly clear that withdrawals had no ETA. Sure, I'm not suggesting that we never implement withdrawals. I just don't think there is significant urgency. I think there are other things that are far more critical to the long-term health of Ethereum than stakers being able to withdraw in 2023 rather than 2024. How do you like that when even the possibility of withdrawal is measured in years that don't include this year? And of course, we all know that Cardano allows liquid staking and has a staking participation rate of 71.72%. And if you want to run your own stake pool in Cardano, the minimum amount required to be staked is 10 ADA, whereas in Ethereum, it's 32 Ether, a very hefty sum indeed. Then they talk about custodial staking versus non-custodial staking. And they show you the all-important donut graphs here. They say this has resulted in the centralization of the Ethereum network. Currently, 3 entities control more than 51% of the network. Let me repeat that. 3 entities, looks like Lido, Coinbase, and Kraken, control more than 51% of the network. Cardano, which has no risk of slashing, 0 token locking period for staking, 24 entities control more than 51% of the network. It's a very, very marked difference between these two. We've got pretty extreme centralization on the Ethereum side and comparatively extremely good decentralization on the Cardano side. If you weren't aware, Fidelity now has ETFs called Crypto Industry and Digital Payments. That's one of them. And Metaverse. That's a different one. This sounds great, right? This is what we've always been crying about. Why can't we have crypto ETFs? Unfortunately, when we look at what's actually in the fund, we find this portfolio composition. Block Inc., Coinbase Global, Marathon Digital Holdings, Riot Blockchain, Backed Holdings Inc., CleanSpark, Hut 8, Bit Digital, Hive Blockchain, Bitfarms. This isn't at all what we would normally call a crypto ETF. When you say crypto ETF, you're thinking, hey, great, it's an ETF that's going to represent holdings of the coins we all know and love. Instead, we get this. And surely you could say that holding Coinbase gives you exposure to the crypto space, of course, all those things. And there are obviously regulatory reasons why they're holding shares in corporations like this, as opposed to the crypto directly or something like that. But definitely this crypto industry and digital payments ETF is not quite what I think a lot of us would have in mind when we think about an actual crypto ETF. But if that first ETF wasn't quite what you would have in mind based on the name, check out the Metaverse ETF. This is way better. This is amazing. So portfolio composition: Tencent Holdings, Alphabet Inc., Apple Inc., Nintendo, Adobe, Meta Platforms, NVIDIA, NetEase, EA, Dassault System. So you can come up with some kind of explanation why, maybe each of the names on these lists are somehow related to the metaverse, but this is a pretty gigantic stretch. It's like Hey, so we heard you like Metaverse, whatever that is. How about some Google? How about some Apple? Little Nintendo, some Tencent, Nvidia. That sounds like Metaverse, right? Little Adobe. Here's some interesting commentary on what's important about blockchains. So apparently this person is the CEO of the Algorand Foundation, according to their own Twitter profile. And they posted, "Hi, if anyone questions the integrity, honesty, competence, or reputation of me or anyone on my staff, do feel free to dump your algos immediately. Goodbye and good riddance." Also blocked. It's the third time with the misinformation. 3 strikes and you are out. And Charles posted, "I don't get it. Is Algorand decentralized or not?" And you probably, if you just read this part, you wouldn't know where he's going necessarily, or maybe you would. But he says the level of integrity of a company shouldn't influence a protocol that is independent of physical companies. I like Algorand and respect Silvio a lot. Strange take from their foundation. And I agree. Charles is obviously making the point here. Hey, if Algorand is decentralized, the integrity, honesty, competence, reputation of the CEO of the foundation doesn't really matter, because if it's decentralized, then the value of the blockchain isn't hinging on any of these qualities: integrity, honesty, competency, or reputation of any one person, including the CEO of the Algorand Foundation, because the blockchain is decentralized. It's decentralized so that you don't have to care about these issues with the CEO of the foundation. Ed and altcoins came back with this post, which is kind of interesting because it addresses exactly what the question that Charles is asking: is Algorand decentralized? So he posted these pie charts. So these pie charts show, I believe, holder concentrations, with whales in green, investors in blue, and retail in yellow, just based on, I believe, on the size of the wallet. So with Cardano and Bitcoin, you've got very small whale slices, very small investor slices, and gigantic retail slices. But if we come down here to Algorand and Ethereum, we see some different counts. We see pretty substantial. Let's look at them each individually. So with Ethereum, we see some pretty gigantic uh, investor and whale slices. What is it? Is whale green? Yeah, whale is green. So this is whale at 21%, and investors at about 21%, and about 57 and change percent in retail. With Algorand, we see a gigantic investor slice, investors blue. So with Algorand, we see almost a 62% investor slice, a 15% whale slice, and a 22% retail slice. This is like the exact opposite of Cardano and Bitcoin. So if these pie charts are accurate, actually, uh, it's hard to make this case that Algorand is decentralized. And maybe that's why someone at least, seems to care so much about the integrity, honesty, competence, and reputation of the CEO of the Algorand Foundation. Those things probably matter less if you're talking about a decentralized blockchain. But if it's this blockchain, maybe those things do matter. So if you like your metaverses in the form of actual metaverses and not in the form of Adobe, Apple, Google, and Nvidia, you might like this. 3D Kiwi has been busy lately. They say, "Hope you like your new toy, CNFT community. I offer you transparency, Pavia_IO. Think about me when GMI, please. 3D Kiwi loves you all." And then we see what 3D Kiwi is putting out here is a detailed regression based estimation for metaverses. So you can go to a parcel on 3D Kiwi's Heatmaps, actually these special regression heat maps, which they say are restricted use only for degens, LMAOOO. So when you go to this map, he's come up with a model, and of course this is like the first published draft of this model. But he has a model, and he's come up with factors that he thinks boost the price in some way, and then assigned a value to those boosts. In this case, if we look at this parcel right here, which is kind of by the Whale Beach area of Pavia, he's giving it a boost of 535 ADA because it's on the mainland. He's giving it a base price of 154 ADA because It's within looks like one parcel of Well Beach. It's got a 4,600 ADA boost because it's within 20 of the Central Plaza, 25 boost. It's a part of the first drop of parcels, so a 17 ADA boost, and then for other reasons a 5 ADA boost. This is interesting because I don't think we've talked a lot in the Cardano metaverse space about models for estimating pricing. There's the classic real estate sort of comparable approach that you can use, but often the sales of some of these parcels in some of these like really sought after areas of some of our more popular metaverse projects, sometimes it's hard to find a comparable. So 3D Kiwi to the rescue. They've come up with this regression based estimation for your parcel. This is super interesting. If you want to go check that out, the address is pavia.3dkiwi.io/heatmap_PRED/pavia. And as you can see, it generates these values pretty quickly. So you can kind of scroll along here and look at pretty much any parcel in the Pavia world. Finally, it looks like Maladex is giving us a little teaser, and I like their Squid Game stylings. They say, expect us 28 September 2022. You'll remember from the first thing we covered in this video, that's one day after everything has gone live with Vasil. So when they say expect us, I'm thinking we should just go ahead and expect the platform. Maybe it's something else. Maybe us represents something other than the Maladex platform going live. I'm hoping it's actually the platform. I think a lot of people are excited and anxious to see what Maladex is going to bring to the table. I hope you had a great weekend, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.